Hello, good afternoon, my people. Good afternoon, viewers. Good afternoon, my followers. Good afternoon, my listeners. Good afternoon, everybody, every lover and friend of Peculiar Peace. This is another wonderful session of Growing with Peculiar. Thank you for coming on board with me. Thank you. We've come again with our scintillating stories and our gist. We always come with them educating, entertaining, and informative. This is another time again this afternoon to be on board with me. In case you've not followed me on my YouTube channel, you've not on that notification bell in order to get notified when I come on board. In case you've not also liked us on TikTok, please follow us on TikTok. Please follow us on Facebook. Please follow us on Instagram so as to enjoy all of our gist, all of our stories, all of our information and educating gist when we come online. Thank you for I know we are doing that right now. So today we have a very educating and informative gist like we used to. And today I want us to know that nothing happens out of place. Everything happens in place, no matter the time, no matter the delays or whatsoever. Everything that you have in your mind and in your heart would always come to pass. Just give it a little more time. That is what brings us to our topic today, which is growing in disappointment. Growing even amidst of disappointment. Yes, disappointment will always happen, though it's not what we plan for. Sometimes it happens out of our infunctionalities. Sometimes it happens because fate. Sometimes it happens because we were not prepared. Sometimes it happens because there were some little things that we did not have to the source to bring out the best of us ever we want. But nevertheless, even with disappointment, yes, disappointment ought bound, yes, ought to happen, but that is not the end of the road. That is not the end of the journey. As I have brought us today with that topic, I see growing even in disappointment. What is disappointment? We'll always have a way of defining things, because I used to say here that what you don't refine, what you don't define, I mean you don't refine. So, and we'll always define our terms, which is one, disappointment. Number two, what is growing, we'll always define it, and we'll always bring it in our layman terms. So let's start from disappointment. What is disappointment? To me, in my layman term, disappointment is, there are two words in there, this and appointment. What is this? This is not. And what is appointment? Appointment is maybe a scheduled thing you want to you want it to happen within a period of time or whatsoever. So bringing it together, what is disappointment? Disappointment is the appointment you have had not happening, which is this. You understand? Okay, let's see what is growing. Growing is when you move from one stage to another in any particular stuff, in sometimes in education, in age, in whatever we do as humans, we have to grow. So that is why I have come with a topic which I say growing even in disappointment. As we have defined what is disappointment in our layman terms, disappointment is when what you have appointed, what you have kept, what you have envisaged to happen, and it did not happen within a period of time you must have kept it. So that is why today we want to really see how to grow even in disappointment. How to grow even in disappointment is one, be glad the disappointment happened. How I know some persons will say, coach, why will you tell me that I should be glad even in disappointment? Yes, you have to be glad because you wouldn't know what the disappointment that happened must have taken away. Yes, yes. There are sometimes, especially ladies, there are sometimes you must have envisaged that in less than no time I'll be married to this man, to this my knight, my king, to this my charming husband, to this angel in form of a man. Yes, Sometimes it comes out, it plays out not to be the same way we must have envisaged it in our hearts. I would want to tell us to be glad that it happened, because you wouldn't know what would have happened if you were able to finally get married to that your angel, to that your charming man, to that your tall, dark and handsome man. Well, we wouldn't know, because one thing we should know, that fate is not in our hands, it is in the hands of God. Even if life gives us what we negotiate, even if life gives us what we demand of it, yes, there are times you demand of life that this is what you want, and even in everything, in all your powers, in all your might, don't forget that the Bible has led us to understand that that the battle, or that it is not for the weak, it is not for the strong, it's not for the swift, but to those that the Lord showeth mercy. That goes to tell us that whatever it is we feel we want is not we still within our powers. That whatever it is we feel we must have demanded of life is not still within our powers. Yes, it's still within the power of God to do what we want. And another one I want us to also know is, be intentional even in disappointment. How will you be intentional even in disappointment? Yeah, disappointment has happened. Then how will you trace your step? You have to be intentional about it. Don't go through the other part that led to the disappointment. There are plenty of things out there that must have humanly possible, more must have made you to have that disappointment in that thing you envisaged to, and maybe there were steps you did not take. So I am bringing it to us that we should be intentional even even in the midst of that disappointment, such that you are intentional taking those steps that you did not take. As such, the when you will not take the right step, it will not culminate into the answers, into the appointment we are looking for. Number three, don't be so hard on yourself. You don't have to sit there, cry wolves, cry whatever. Immediately you have a disappointment, especially in relationship, dust off, shake off, and you would be able to pick your pieces. Even if I know it's not easy, but with God everything is easy and it is possible. So from there, you need to, don't stay in disappointment, don't stay and cry woes. I will repeat, women, don't stay and cry woes. Yes, it has happened, but we can still pick our pieces from there and grow. Hmm? Number four is re-strategize. How do you re-strategize? If you were doing the plan A, why not work on the plan B? Why not work on the plan B? Set out plans with plan B and C. If you were giving it this approach, why not try another approach? Re-strategize your plans and your approach towards, especially in a relationship. Know what made it to fail in the previous one. Then intentionally work on those ones, on those things. Intentionally, I repeat, work on those things that you felt and you feel made you fail in the last one. And number five, which will be the last for today, we'll continue next week, is be happy it happened. Be happy it happened. I know what I'm saying is easy said than done, but when you are happy, let the joy of the Lord flourish in your heart. It is the joy of the Lord that will give you the strength to grow. I know it's not easy, but on the other way around, if you really want to get out of that disappointment very fast, be happy it happened. You might not know what God has saved you from, you wouldn't know the blessings that were lurking inside that disappointment. So ladies, most especially, it is ladies that beat themselves to it when they feel they have been disappointed, especially by a man, maybe their fiancé or whatever must have been there. You wouldn't know that what God has saved you from. Let me repeat that. And you wouldn't know what you would have been if you were still in that relationship. So be happy it happened, my viewers, my followers, my listeners, my subscribers, my lovers, my followers. Be happy it happened. It is not by your power. the all-knowing and the all-seeing God knew why it happened. There was every reason why he gave it a way to happen like that. So I wouldn't want us to beat ourselves to the disappointment. Instead of that, derive the lessons you've learned in that disappointment and move on. Even if we feel many things are spiritual, but there are some things that are still physical. There are a lot of things that are still physical. So I would want us to grow even in disappointment. And don't forget that Yoruba used to say something that Ile ọba tó jóná ìwà ló bù sí. Yes, let me give that explanation. Is the house of a king that got burnt has added another beauty. Haven't you seen when especially house of kings or government parastatals gets burnt, or maybe there was an inferno there, see it when they rebuild it. So just take yourself as that. I'm not saying fire will burn through you, God forbid, but what I'm trying to say is I'm likening the disappointment to an inferno in a king's house, in this government parastatal, even in your private houses. We used to see where there are infernos in houses, and when they want to rebuild their house, it is always one of the best house. So that is how I want you to see disappointment. That is how I want you to grow even in disappointment. As I have brought this as I have brought this to us today, to tell us that even in disappointments that we can grow. I want us to grow because I want all of us to be at the top. So don't beat yourself to anything that has brought you down. That is just a stepping stone to where you are going to be and to where you ought to be. Why not join us this time next week to enjoy the part 2 of this session of growing even in the midst of disappointment. So why not still keep following. Follow us on our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok, follow us on Facebook, on WhatsApp. We are everywhere to always give us educating, yet scintillating gist. Thank you for having us this afternoon. You're welcome.